Ba-dum bum bum bum. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, chat frat. Slap back, Charlie frat. Slap back, Charlie frat. Slap back.
That was then, and this is now.
Yes, we're back, like that thing you never missed and couldn't give a shit that came back.
We're ready to rock your body so hard you'll be having quasi-seismic seizures until you're pissing into a bag. I'd like to welcome the journeyman, the wanderer, the travelling minstrel, the littlest hobo, the smallest tramp, and the most insignificant vagrant, Dogman.
Hello! I'd like to introduce the man who's the man in management of national security, the boy who puts the boy in Boys in the Hood, the guy who puts the guy in, hey guys, want to come buy some cheap meat? Mr. Joseph Webb.
Hello, thanks very much. And yeah, if you do want to buy some cheap meat, that's all available. So just have a word to me after the show, or you can email me. A heartfelt welcome back to the Big Soap's own part hipster, part troubadour, part international man of mystery, Russell Garnett.
Hello. I often watch this like I'm watching it on YouTube and just sort of drift off, you know, and start doing something else. But love those introductions. More of that. Really keen for it. Really up for it. Are you wearing the
You often just drift off.
Thank you, Mr. Russell Garnett. We would like to introduce a new guest to the show, winner of Attitude Magazine cover model of July 2014. He would describe himself as wet and wild with a soft side for cats. Plays coy by day, but is naughty at night. Mr. Dave White.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Russ.
You alright?
Yeah. Yeah, this is, well, it's just beautiful, isn't it? It's so beautiful. It's like we're watching the best porn ever.
I assure you
Just
that
waiting for the good bit to kick in.
Yeah.
Waiting for the dreary chit chat to subside before the inevitable gangbang, but it'll get there. And lastly, and certainly not least, maybe slightly least, there is simply no words to describe him.
Hello!
Dick Fontaine!
Hello, brethren. How's it going?
Not too bad. That's a lovely cape you have on there.
It's a great cape, yeah. I bought it from the market. It was dead good. When I say
How,
bought
how
It
much?
looks like a curtain.
it's very similar to a curtain. You could use it as a curtain, like a blackout blind or something like that. But yeah, it admittedly is just a piece of fabric, but it's still a cape in my book.
magical. A magical piece of fabric.
Magic cape, indeed. Anyway,
Well, we've been gone for a little while. We had a little hiatus. HBO were looking to syndicate our show, which was very exciting. They wanted to get rid of us and replace us with some hot-looking women, but unfortunately, we held our rights and we stayed true, and we're back, and it's a beautiful thing. It's nice to be back.
We've had a lot of action. Russ and Ollie were both offered new parts in True Detective, but like the consummate professionals they are, they turned that down to stay with us.
Said no.
I've kind
Thanks
of
for that.
go in about 20 minutes. There's something I've got to go and investigate, but it'll be all right. Okay, go on.
And a massive welcome to a first-time Slapback Chat Frat virgin, Mr. Dave White, who, as you can see, is a Cornish nationalist. Hello, Dave.
Maybe on Kerno.
The big up cannon looks a bit like the Nazi salute, doesn't it?
Are we meant to respond to that?
Yeah.
It's the call for arms.
As you may not know, we are all Cornish, but only one of us is willing to die for that cause. So, good on you, Dave, for your slightly rabid commitment to the cause.
Says the man who was born in Torquay.
Ooh.
Oh!
I know. I carry this shame with me.
All right, talking.
Oh, you were born in Torquay, Dave?
Yeah.
I was born in Hampshire as well, so
Where
Yeah.
are you?
Ask.
Dead to me.
Were any of us actually born in Cornwall?
Hi.
No, I was born in Plymouth. Freedom Fields.
Fuck. So all of
So
you.
that-
Yeah.
So the whole premise of this entire operation is completely flawed, yeah?
Well,
I'm
our friendship.
I am.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
Get rid of it. Burn it.
Burn it. Safe as.
All right. So this is a podcast based around 5 people born in different places. One of whom was born in Cornwall. Well done, Dan. The rest of us are just people.
You are.
let's-
people.
Now we've established that there really is no reason for us to be friends or tied together in this ridiculous charade. Let's move on for what may be the last podcast. The first thing we're going to do is a new game called Google Berries. Now, you may have seen derivatives of this being done in some other places. Don't pay attention to that because this is definitely different to those. Google Berries is basically where you type something into Google and the rest of the people have to guess or at least get the closest to what Google auto completes it to. So, without further ado, who wants to challenge the group with their first typing?
Okay. Well, we've got some exciting things. Should we start the start, or should we?
Let's start at the start. It's the
Start the
first-
start.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So the first word is Bernard Manning, and
I'm going to go for a curveball, and I know Bernard Manning's a stand-up comedian, but I reckon a lot of people confuse him with Bernard Matthews. So I'm going to say Bernard Manning, the turkey guy.
okay.
That's my guess.
I like it.
No, I think your guess is probably on the money. I was thinking of Bernard Matthews and Turkey Drummers, so
Oh yeah.
Case in point.
and I'll go with racist.
That is a strong answer. That is a strong answer.
I'm pretty confident I'm going to win on this.
Okay.
Okay, what's your answer, Dave?
Dead.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Is he dead?
he is. Dead.
Even I want to know. Okay, he's dead. Yeah, I remember.
He's in that big clan in the sky.
Is Bernard Manning my father? We'll go for that. I've known a lot of, race hatred with those sperm.
Okay. Well, is Mr. Bernard Manning dead? He's correct. That's
Well
very
done,
good.
Dave.
Oh, well done.
My
Okay.
reason being is it's a very popular game, isn't it? Guess the next celebrity who's going to snuff it, and I could just see Bernard Manning being the subject of those kind of games.
Mm.
My autocomplete is why do men, and then you have to fill in the rest.
Are you ready for? I think it's why do men come first?
Mm.
Oh, a little insight there. Russ?
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit close to home for me.
Hey, I just tell it like I see it.
Okay, Fontaine, the man's man, the thinking man's man.
The thinking
Okay.
man. It's going to be. I'm going to go for what I think is probably the most highest answer. Cheat.
Ooh,
Okay.
strong. That's a good answer.
Strong answer.
Yeah.
It's very like, so far, isn't it?
I think I'm going to give subsidiary points to people who get the second or third one as well. Just we'll award them randomly. So Dave, have you got an answer?
Like anal.
Mm.
I
Again,
think that all of our answers represent something that we all think about ourselves.
Sorry, what was the question?
okay. So Russ,
Yeah,
what are you
I'm
thinking?
gonna. Why do men piss in the street?
Yeah, strong.
It's a little bit niche, but I think there might be enough, curious people out there to bring it.
Okay. Dan, so we had, let's recap. So Dan said come first, Russ said piss in the street, Ollie said cheat, and Dave said like anal. Well, I can tell you that the person who was bang on the money was Fontaine.
Yeah.
With sheep.
Yeah.
Oh,
But can I?
They have
can
the
I
mind of a
mention-
girl. So yeah, I know these things.
No one else was. No one else was in the top 5. Would you like to know what the top 5 were?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's why do men like boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Why do men have affairs? Why do men go bald? And why do men have beards?
I like that. I think that's quite interesting. Why do men go bald? What's that all about?
Why?
no! Okay, shall I do the next one, Joe?
Okay, Russ, do you want to come up with the next Google
Yeah.
pairing?
Okay, I'll come up with one right now. How do I stop my what do you
How do I stop my? Oh, that's a
How do I
good
stop
one.
mine? Let's go to an expert in the area. Fontaine, you can start us off.
Gash from seeping.
Okay. Thanks for your
Well,
contribution. Dan, you must have a strong view on this. How do I stop my
Self.
Okay. Oh, I think you've probably got a little bit of insight in this area. How do I stop my
Mum from crying.
I don't know.
Yeah, disappointment. I think that's the yeah.
Right, Dave, it's up to you to make this count. I've just found the answer. It's okay. Right, go on, Dave. What do you think?
My obsession with midgets.
It's very close, but
Dwarves.
it's not. It's good, but it's not right.
Hobbits.
Okay. The top and correct answer is, how do I stop my dog barking?
No?
Oh,
Obviously.
That's easy.
didn't see
Close
that coming.
second. Close second. How do I stop my puppy biting? I mean, dog. And then finally, I mean, this isn't as good as I thought it was going to be, really. How do I stop my laptop overheating?
People
Wow.
lead quite mundane. People lead a very mundane existence, don't they?
I was hoping for more on that.
Ollie Fontane, do you want to ride one out?
Okay. Why does my brother? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, go for it. Why does
Okay.
my brother?
Who you asking?
You.
Okay. Why does my brother? Can I have a bit more time? I need to get back. Someone
Right.
else.
Russell got it.
Why does my brother always win at computer games?
Why does my brother watch me sleep?
Secretly.
David.
Why does my brother make me wear boxing gloves in bed?
Why does my brother hate me?
Okay. Wow. Okay, so Dan's got number 4. Why does my brother hate me?
Oh, nice work.
Number 3, I'm going to do it like Top of the Pops. Number 3 is, why does my brother hate me so much? Number 2 is, why does my brother smell? And my personal favourite, number 1, is, why does my brother printer say offline?
Technical information
Careful.
is very strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
You would have to think really laterally to have got that one, wouldn't you?
God. Oh, there you are. Sorry.
So, Dave White, it's you, I think.
Why are the French?
Why are the French French?
Ah, I was going to go for that.
I'll go with so queer.
So queer.
Yeah.
Yep, way to go to disparage an entire nation there.
This isn't me. This is what other people have typed.
Okay, so we have so queer, so French. Joe?
So rude, I think I'm going to go for.
Hate the English, I'm going to go for.
Okay, well, one of you has the top answer. Yeah, I'll go from fifth up. So number 5. Why are the French so bad at war? Somebody did tell me that if you Google greatest French war victories, there's no responses on that. I don't know. Number 4. Why are the French considered wimps? Number 3 is why are the French so healthy? Which obviously sounds good, but then you read number 2, why are the French so arrogant? And at the top of the tree, why are the French so rude?
Ah, Joe Webb.
Well done.
Let's see, it pays to hate other places and be a member of Britain First. Yeah. Okay. Is that the end of Google Berries, or should we do 1 or 2 more?
Yeah. I think we can either just go on or we can move on to something else.
Well, we've done one each, that makes the end.
Yes.
I think we're all winners.
Okay.
We're all winners.
Moving on next. As you know, every episode we have a big question. This time, Dave White, as he's new to the podcast, has come up with a big question. Dave, would you like to tell us what that is?
My question is, what kind of items, day-to-day things, or people, activities, what is it acceptable to share? For example, would you be comfortable sharing your toothbrush with someone else, or your underwear, or your ex-girlfriend, for example?
That sounds like a very reasonable question. Okay, right. So, what do you think you would be happy to share? I think I personally would not share my toothbrush or my pants.
But you're okay on the ex-girlfriend?
Well, I don't know if I can, with a good conscience, say I'm not okay with it, having shared so many other people's ex-girlfriends. Hi.
I think
Share and share alike.
It's unhygienic to share a toothbrush, right? And that's dentally proven.
And an ex-girlfriend.
I don't know, is it? I think it's probably all right on the ex-girlfriends.
You haven't met some of my ex-girlfriends, Russ.
Okay.
You don't know what you did to them.
We have all dated one though, pretty much. So
Yeah.
They're not hygienic after I've finished with them.
Good. Right, what other things do people share?
Beds?
Friendships. Yeah.
Let's go back to beds.
I won't share my bed with my friends. I can't do it. I'm really consciously aware that I don't when you're sleeping, you like sleep boners. I really would feel mortified if I was to wake up next to one of my friends and that had been in just rumbling around. I don't know. I just can't do it. I won't share a bed with anyone just in case of some nighttime erectile.
Would you share a friend's bed though?
Oh, I don't mind eating that. It's fine. No, I wouldn't.
If it's your boner waking them up.
If it's my boner,
what's the fear? Is the fear that from you or from? Is it giving or receiving?
My fear is that I wouldn't want it to get. I wouldn't want it to interfere. I wouldn't want it to go off on its own little night adventures.
What about their night adventures? Does that worry you?
About what?
Their night adventures.
I'm not. I'm probably less concerned about what. Yeah, I'm less concerned. I think it's more just my own sort of thing. I'm a bit concerned.
Would it be fair to say that you'd be happy to sleep in a bed with 4 puffs and a piano for a night if you were taking some sedative, which meant that you wouldn't
Get aroused?
Yeah.
What?
Or had a chastity cage on, one of the two.
Yeah, just
Cock cage, yeah, cock cage. That would be fine. I'm not worried about getting. I'm not worried that someone's going to be
they're
so
naked.
Yeah, obviously, that's fine.
Okay.
What I'm concerned about is my own. I like to just know that like it's safe. You know,
They've
don't.
taken Viagra.
Is the piano in the bed?
Piano's in the bed.
One of them playing.
as long as they were like-
They'll rotate, and one of them will always be playing Lionel Richie.
Which song?
Oh, best
All
best
Night
of.
Long?
Dave. I'm not going to name a song. Yeah, or All Night Long is a good one.
All night long, I reckon. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean that's probably where I'm at. Like as
Okay.
far as like share, I think like I wouldn't. I don't think I'd like sharing my toothbrush. I don't think I'd like to share my pants. I don't think I'd like to share my bed, unless it's with my. I wouldn't even share with my partner. I hate.
What about underarm deodorant? Roll-on deodorant.
Roll-on.
That is on the line for me. That is like that depends on that person. If it's gonna
But
go.
why is that weird? Okay, well, if it's your girlfriend, it's fine, surely.
Yeah.
I would.
Why are you using
I would
your
get
underarm roll-on? That's feminine. That's a feminine odor.
I
Yeah, but
like
you haven't
to.
got any deodorant of your own. This is the choice that the situation
Oh,
you're in.
okay. All right.
They do men's underarm. I use it. I'm not ashamed.
I use roll-on under my arm. I'm with you, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the problem. I'm saying that you were saying you'd use your girlfriend's roll-on.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's in a like a kind of situation where you don't have that item and you are.
Right. Understood. Yeah.
No, I mean I'm using Andy's at the moment. I could have bought my own deodorant weeks ago, but I'm still using hers.
You're a badass. You're an absolute badass.
I'm a maverick, and I blaze my own trail.
Yeah. So
But the other thing is, I don't think anyone ever gets close enough to my armpits to detect that is a girl's fragrance, you know? So I think it's more about keeping the sweat not sweaty smelling.
I think people know. They just don't tell you.
yeah, we've known for
We
ages.
know. The reason we're here today is we know you smell like a girl.
It's not an intervention.
And it stinks.
I've always liked it, Joe. I've always.
So that's why you've always come on quite strong then, Dave. Is it just the smell?
Smell confusion.
We've all seen the impulse adverts. I just feel this urge to give you flowers.
Razor blades.
Yeah, no.
Razor blades. See, okay, all of the things you've mentioned other than ex-girlfriends, I would happily share. Toothbrush, actually, fuck the toothbrush. I've got spares, I can use those. But all the other ones, fine.
I'm pretty sure I've borrowed your shaver before.
Yeah.
I think it's you, and then subsequently found out that you used it on your pubes. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
I seem to remember that happening.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. But you know, I didn't mind sharing it though. You know.
No, you didn't.
I don't think. I want to say. I'm just going to clarify something here. I don't think I knew you were borrowing. I wouldn't have gone. Oh yeah, sure, Webbs. My balls are just fresh. On your face. But,
I think the conversation went, "Hi, Ollie, have you got a fresh, clean new razor that I could borrow that hasn't touched your balls?" And you said, "Yeah, mate, no problem."
yeah, mate, no worries, mate. Yeah.
Knowing full well that the shaver would be arousing you later.
The fact that you phrased
no,
the question like that.
Yeah, no, I think I might have been cheeky. I think I might have just found a razor and gone, "Oh, I'll borrow this," or found a shaver.
That's the risk you run with the borrow of razor. But
yeah, hold my hands up, and that is why my face now has gonorrhea. Or
well, that's fair enough. But at least you got like a clean, you know, ball smooth face. You know, it's like vaccines. Balls are wrinkly. They make your face less wrinkly. That's there we go. Done.
Okay,
And
so
also-
have we reached a consensus about what we would and wouldn't share? Because there is one more question in the big question from Dave.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. We've said yes and no.
Yeah,
Dave,
I-
what is your...
I'm with Ollie on this. I'm happy to share anything and share anything with, and whatever the opposite of sharing is. I don't really end up when you borrow anything. It's all fine with me. It doesn't bother me. You take that risk that if you use that soap, it may have a few hairs on it. Who knows? But you take that risk. I'm cool with it. I'm happy to lend or borrow anything.
You're a good man. You're a good man. Okay, right, Dave, would you like to talk us through your next one? Would you...
You may have to remind me.
Okay, is technology a force for good or evil when you're trying to get your rocks off?
Yes. I was talking about the modern age and sexting, and how young people are, exchanging videos, photos, that kind of thing. And of course now everything we do is immortalized on...
they're exchanging them with you though, right, Dave?
I'd like to keep me out of this particular conversation. It's all
We'd like to keep you out, Dave, but you keep fucking sexting us.
So is the problem like these prime ministers and these public figures? They're doing the sexting in the privacy of their own home, and then bang, it's on the front cover of the Daily Mirror. Right? Is that the problem that we're facing?
Well, it can be public or a bit closer to home. But I was going to say, actually, this is an interesting point you raised, Russ, because did you see this story in the paper recently about this Conservative MP who was lured into sexting a picture of his
honey trap. I did see that, yeah.
Honey trapped, yeah.
Well, we did a honey trap a few weeks ago. What happened to that? Was that our honey trap? We on the podcast, Fontaine was going to be a honey trap for
Oh God, yeah, Nigel Farage.
Mayor of Nottingham or something.
Oh no, yeah. What was I going to do?
You were going to pretend to be a woman.
Yeah, I was going to try and get him in with a few noshes off. What was I trying to achieve though? You guys trying to make me?
You were trying to become internet sensation. You were going to become famous.
Yeah, I was going to nosh someone famous off, like Jeffrey Archer or something, and then.
So less a honey trap and more of a shit trap. But you were the bait, nevertheless.
I was the bait. I'm a good bait. Fair play.
You are good bait. I mean, the prize that you were going to get was Jeffrey Archer. I mean, you might be a honey trap, but you were in store for a. But I think going back to this technology force for good or evil in the sexual age, this is we're living in the sexual age, Russ.
No one had sex before this age.
Jurassic. Modern sexual age.
Iron Age, Bronze Age, sexual age.
What sort of fossils are we going to have from the sexual age?
Butt plugs.
Is it just going to be loads of fossils with butt plugs and like in 69 positions? These creatures are very strange.
There's Tony Robinson in amongst some small walls walking along. And another butt plug. No, what were we saying? In the sexual age.
I was going to say this is something I'm going to be candid and I'm going to be honest here. Never done it. Never sent a picture of my junk. Never received anything. So this is something which I can only be hypothetical about. But I mean, there are candidates. There are candidates on the panel which I think probably nearly ruin their lives through doing this. So,
okay. So
I would
you've got
like to see a show of hands on this, actually.
Is this including you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm happy that my hand is up.
Why don't we do it the other way around? If you haven't been involved in this behaviour, hands up.
Just me.
Okay, there we go. Moving on.
Well, the thing is, we've got a ring, Joe, which you aren't part of. We just send it to each other.
That's what we're here for tonight, aren't we?
Yeah. I'll be doing mine at the end of the show.
That's the next agenda item.
Okay, so Joe, you have a unique moral position here, right? Where you can judge.
Okay, so here's my question. How does it come up? Do you just volunteer the information, so to speak?
You just put it out there. You just like, check this out. Here it is. Bam.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you. Oh, here's a picture of my dick. I mean, how do you do it? Yeah, smiley face, wink, wink.
Yep, I'm a big fan of show us your tits.
I know you are, Dave.
I'm old school in that sense.
Nah, it's good.
But so what's the problem here? Is the problem that the journalists are doing this to catch people out, or is it the consenting people that are doing this, or is it the fact that social mores have changed to such an extent that there's no courting anymore? It's just text, cock, done.
I think where my question came from was more this kind of issue of especially younger people, you know, sending this stuff, text, photos, videos, whatever, and it's fixed, isn't it? It's fixed in time.
And you only have so much memory on your phone, right?
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, you know, to be honest with you, you
get an external hard drive.
Get yourself in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
So it's the permanence of it that, you know, once it's online, they're forever.
Exactly.
Well, the issue is, okay, so as I understand it, Snapchat, it deletes instantly, right?
No,
But it doesn't.
Does it?
it doesn't.
There was a big story in the press. All the photos have been saved somewhere in a big porn log.
I thought Snapchat was like, it goes for 5 seconds and then it deletes off the person's phone or something once they've watched it.
That's what they wanted you to think, but it was a honey trap, Joe.
Think it's time to put your hand up, Joe.
We've lost almost the key member of this. I'd imagine the man with the most insight into.
I don't think we've lost him. I think he's run away because he knows what's to protect his own
for a moment.
Yeah. Oh, there seems to be a fire in my room.
My pants, bye.
So, I mean, is technology a problem? Obviously, yes, because, you know, like, look at Jennifer Lawrence and all those people who had all their shit hacked from the cloud.
Yeah, but I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, what a great bit of publicity for her. I didn't really know who she was before that happened.
That's great wank material for the rest of us.
And she then did the front cover of a magazine where she was naked for it. You know, she's taken ownership of her own nudity in that case. But I don't think anybody really got a raw deal out of that.
I think for me personally, it's about like It's sad when people have had their accounts hacked because it will mean that people are less willing to do these things because they feel that there will be repercussions, and it's nice to receive those.
Hold on a minute. Is this all about whether you can get pictures?
I'm just all I'm saying is
it'd be harder to get the pictures.
For sure, yeah, for sure. What I'm saying really is that that it's sad that someone has hacked these people's accounts because it means now that people are going to be frightened of their
passwords.
Yeah, going to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have password as my password for everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was in a quandary really because I felt bad that Jennifer Lawrence had her account hacked. Yet I was still going to look at all of that.
Damn right.
But I felt bad because it's an invasion of her privacy, and it's nice to think that if I ever got with Jennifer Lawrence, which is definitely going to happen one day, she would definitely send me nudie pictures of her. But now she might not, so who knows? Sad.
Well, if she declines once you're with her, you can say, well, don't matter, 1-0 because I've already seen them.
yeah, I've already seen it all. I've got it all.
A friend of mine used to go out with Ellie Goulding.
Oh, really?
And he says, he's not really a friend, but somebody I know, and he said he's got naked pictures of Ellie Goulding. And recently he came upon hard times, and he was like, I could use these naked pictures of Ellie Goulding to make some fast cash. But all the people around him said, "You would be a scumbag to do that. I wouldn't want to know you." And so, in a way, it's self-policing. He's got the pictures. They're never going to go out.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Unless he gets crapper friends.
Well, yeah, that might sort it out. I mean, we could encourage him in the right direction.
But so he,
Yeah, for a piece.
so he brought the idea around to people, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What
He's
say?
flagged it up, exactly. Yeah, totally. As a money-making thing.
Hello, Fontana, you're back. We're still talking about whether or not technology is a bad thing for getting your socks off, your rocks off.
I don't know. I think it's quite good.
You love it.
Oh, it's quite nice to get a random, cunt pit or a little pit every now and again. It's like it makes you feel loved.
It is a treat.
Yeah.
Russ got some pictures of Ellie Goulding.
Sexual libertarian.
What's that, Webs?
I said that there speaks a sexual libertarian.
Sexual libertarian, yes. Why not? I don't know what that means.
So yeah, I don't know.
So
I think how are we wrapping this up? How are we concluding this big question? I think 4 of us would maybe say.
I think the same way we conclude every big question, which seems
We
to
don't
be
know.
Yeah, column A, a little bit from column B. Yeah,
I think
we haven't answered shit.
we've been taught, over many years of education, when you write a conclusion, you go, well, I think there was a bit of this, I think there was a bit of that, and in the end, sure. And that is our response. Right?
I'm going to pin my colours to the mast and say firmly that I am in both camps.
Nice. Rocking down the middle. Would you like to move on to our next section, Mr. Webb?
Yeah, I would really, I'm going to really do that. The next section is a perennial favourite. It's Hollywood rewrites, and this is where 5 people get together, take a famous film, and decide how we could have made it better. How often these films you're going to think they couldn't be improved upon, but just give it a little bit of time, wait and see, and you'll come to realise that there are some glaring omissions in some of the biggest films in Hollywood history. The first film we're going to look at is Jaws. I'm going to read a little synopsis to the group, and then we're going to think about how we could have made that a better film. So, for anyone who has lived under a rock for the last 40 years, 30 years, whatever it is, Jaws is about when a gigantic great white shark begins to menace the small island community of Amity, and a police chief, a marine scientist, and a grizzled fisherman set out to stop it. So, assemble colleagues. How could Jaws have been improved upon?
I know this is really silly, but if the character of Jaws was replaced by the man who played Jaws in James Bond, that for me.
Not a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
Didn't he?
That's it. That's what I got.
If it was just a spin-off of James Bond and it was just
No, not at all. No, literally, the man from James Bond who played Jaws was Jaws in the film.
I mean, it would be a lot easier to get away from him. I quite like the idea of him swimming ineptly to try and catch people.
I just think that he could just make that film something different, couldn't he? What about if it was
I think
set in
it'd be
space?
better if it was a much smaller shark.
Like a
That would
little.
be my- Or maybe just it doesn't have to be a shark. Yeah, it could have just been a fish with an attitude.
A walrus.
Walrus. Nice.
Oh, I know. If everything was kept the same, except Jaws the shark was replaced with a cartoon shark who had a wink and a catchphrase. Where every time he popped up, went, "I'm hungry."
Yeah. Sharky and George.
Exactly, Sharky and George.
Yeah, I think that's a nice twist.
They could do an exchange, couldn't they? You could have Sharky from Sharky and George in the Jaws movies, and you could have the Jaws shark in Sharky and Jaws. Sharky and Jaws.
Ultimately, complement both of them perfectly.
The episode of Sharky and George would be a lot shorter.
Isn't it? The whole thing about Jaws is that you don't see the shark, right? You don't see it till the end. So why don't we flip that on its head, and the film opens on the shark, and it just sticks on the shark for the whole film. You don't really see anything else.
Just from the shark's perspective.
Shark cam, like Shark GoPro.
Yeah. Like you just see the shark killing people.
Okay, what, from the shark's perspective, or from the?
Yeah, that could work.
With a voiceover from David Attenborough.
Perfect. And it's on 8 o'clock on BBC One on a Sunday evening.
Life of Sharks.
That would actually be a brilliant remake. Just an hour and a half of a shark underwater with like intermittent 5-second bursts of out of the water and then back in again. Yeah.
I quite like it, really like the shark's internal monologue, just swimming about, just like, oh, I'm so hungry, I'm ravished.
I've had an awful day.
I've had a rubbish day. No other sharks around, no friends.
Oh, what's that over there? What's that over there?
Oh, I'm gonna
fucking dolphin. Fucking dolphin. Shark wannabe.
You sharks,
Not in my club. The next one I'm going to do is Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
So get your thinking.
Is that the Dead People, I See Dead People movie?
That's the one where at the end Bruce Willis, it's a twist and he's actually been dead all the time and you don't know it.
Thanks, Joe. I've never seen that film.
Yeah, I've never seen that film either. Thanks, Joe.
I think spoiler alerts have like a 10-year cut-off. You haven't seen it in 10 years.
No, I think you should put a spoiler alert on this, because otherwise the first comment that's going on YouTube is, "Oh, I was just about to watch that movie this weekend, you douchebag."
I'm gonna call you.
You think we're gonna get a YouTube comment?
We are.
How many people do you think watch this?
And I think in that comment you're going to get called a douchebag for revealing the plot. So we have to do it without revealing the plot of Sixth Sense.
What about with Jaws? You know, people know it's a shark now.
No, but you didn't reveal the plot.
Well, there might be people going, waiting to see whether that was about a man with strong teeth or a shark.
Hollywood rewrites is going to be really difficult without spoilers, I feel.
I'll give a spoiler in that. The next film we're going to rewrite is Sixth Sense. Great film, twist ending, and for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert coming up.
Spoiler alert.
Not in this synopsis, but possibly in everything we say about it subsequently. So, Malcolm Crowe is a child psychologist who receives an award on the same night that he's visited by a very unhappy ex-patient. After this encounter, Crowe takes on the task of curing a young boy of the same ills as the ex-patient. This boy sees dead people. Crowe spends a lot of time with the boy, much to the dismay of his wife. Cole's mum is at her wit's end of what to do about her son's increasing problems, and Crowe is the boy's only hope. So let me preface this by saying I barely remember seeing this film, other than the twist ending. I don't remember anything about it.
I think so here's a good thing, right? You've seen Weekend at Bernie's before, yeah?
I like where this is going already.
And that movie, Bernie, and I think in Weekend at Bernie's 2 as well, Bernie is dead, and the characters in the movie pretend that Bernie is alive, and they bring his corpse all around the various locations that he's meant to be. I can't remember why, but his corpse. The bottom line is there is a corpse that, for the majority of the film, is just on display.
Yeah.
Same thing for this film.
Am I right? It's Matey, Die Hard.
Yeah, so Bruce Willis is not a ghost.
Well, call him by its proper name, Russ. Die Hard.
Die Hard is a corpse.
Is Die Hard in it?
And yeah, he has to have makeup put on him, and somebody has to put some strings on his hands, and that's the movie. It's more about pretending that he's alive, less about all the rest of the bollocks.
Okay, so it's the corpse of Die Hard and a little boy and their unlikely friendship.
Exactly.
What about Bruce Willis? What about Die Hard? Just plays Die Hard throughout the whole film, and he's like shooting matey from Robin Hood, and
String vest.
string vest. He's barefoot all the time. He's walking.
glass in his
He's defusing bombs. He's like flying planes, and this little kid.
What you're describing is Die Hard, though. What you're saying is, why isn't Sixth Sense Die Hard?
That kid could be in Die Hard and he could die at the start, and then the movie could just carry on. It's
He
quite
could
normal.
die right at the beginning.
What about if Eddie Murphy plays the child?
Well, I mean, he has the acting chops, right?
He's versatile, we know that much.
I'll tell you what would be good, though, because have you seen, the kid is called Jonathan Lipnicki. Have you, well, he is. Do you know what he looks like now?
Is he look like Macaulay Culkin?
I mean, he looks like himself, but like grown into a kind of slightly weird-faced beefcake young man. So I quite like the idea that they could do a little Sixth Sense too. But it's still Bruce Willis, but with this slightly not cute, ugly kind of 20-something-year-old. It's going,
The Seventh Sense.
Yeah, when he doesn't see dead people, what's the seventh sense? Or maybe we could call it the fifth sense, and he smells them.
No, you couldn't do that
Yeah.
because that would
I
be
smell dead people.
Americans. They'd want to know what happened to episodes 1 to 4. The first sense, second sense, third sense, and fourth sense.
Yeah, I think we should just work back. And he smells dead people. He tastes dead people.
So what would be the one where he tastes dead people? What's the
Like he'd be out, he'd be like, oh,
oh, it tastes of a dead person. Okay.
how do you know what a dead person tastes like? Wait.
Yeah. This is really inconvenient. I mean, when I could see them, they were communicating with me somehow, but it's really hard to decipher their meanings through taste alone.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me.
I would like to see in a sequel to The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis's character be played more as a traditional ghost. For example, I'd like to see him wearing rags and maybe jangling chains and going ooh whenever he came on to shot. I think there'd be an audience for that.
I like it.
I like the idea of ruining the twist ending right at the beginning. So he's coming on as a ghost. And then,
Why are you dressed like a ghost? I'm not. Shut up. Die hard.
yeah, I'm Die Hard. And also, he should be referred to as Die Hard throughout the entire film. And in fact, every film he's ever been in and gonna be in, he should just be, hi Die Hard, so you're the teacher, or hi Die Hard, so you're, whatever you are in this film.
And some bloody shit feet.
Yeah, I mean, we're all agreed that he should be called Die Hard in every film. That's a given.
What about this? Right? Every film that from now on that anyone was ever famous for, that is their name. So Indiana Jones, that's it forever, or Han Solo. Can't think of any other films, but there you go.
I think it's better to call them by the name of the film rather than their character, though. So
Yeah, okay.
So he's
What about Leon.
Leon.
That's both, isn't it?
Yeah, Indiana Jones equally. But I mean,
Beverly Hills Cop. That's fair enough. You could call
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop Beverly Hills Cop.
Would you call him Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Nice.
hello, Beverly Hills Cop 1. You're back on the case, Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3.
They're making a Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh, you know what though? That would be really good if, with each sequel to Beverly Hills Cop, you had another. You just did like through camera trickery, you had another Eddie Murphy in the film. So Beverly Hills Cop 2 has 2 with Eddie Murphy in it.
You know who
Beverly
played
Hills
the
Cop
other
1
Eddie
and 2.
Murphy?
Buddy
It's like-
movie.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 4. Oh, there's 4 of you. Beverly Hills Cop 3. What are you doing?
And one of them's like a big old fat mama. Beverly Hills Cop 4. Played by Eddie Murphy. Or Beverly Hills Cop 1.
So
I reckon that, to be fair, is a pretty good answer to how we would improve Sixth Sense. While we're running short on time, shall we move forwards to the next section and possibly the last section?
okay, so the last section we had, and this is going to be a bit of an exploratory kind of thing. So bear with us with this. We had an idea that, you know, recently you've been to the cinema. Sure, we've all been to the cinema. Superheroes are big business, so we thought about getting in on that action and creating our own superhero with his or her or its own superhero origin story. So what we're going to try and do in this segment is crack the big time by making our own superhero with a believable backstory. So
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, start off.
Okay, Jelly Man.
What's his superpower?
He's the power of jelly. Whenever he needs it, he can call upon unlimited amounts of jelly. He can transform into jelly. Anything jelly, he's got it. He's sewed up that to the max.
Wait. We should establish the parameters of a backstory. What happens to a superhero in their early childhood that makes them become a superhero? Is it like some sort of traumatic event?
Or yeah, anything. So it could be like he could be someone that's like have some sort of accident and you end up getting your superpower, or maybe like Batman, where it's like a traumatic experience causes you to then take on a role as a superhero.
So tell me about Jelly Man. What happened to him?
Well, maybe he fell into a trifle.
It came. I'm not totally sure how Jelly Man was formed. Maybe he eats a lot of jelly and then he becomes Jelly Man, much like Banana Man would.
I think there needs to be an added component, like he accidentally took, you know, what makes you go jelly like?
Gelatin.
Well, perhaps he was a daytime nuclear physicist with a nighttime hobby of being a clown, and a radiation leak and a jelly in the face was the lethal combination which made him Jelly Man.
I like it. I reckon that's probably what happened. Maybe he sat at work, just hanging out, just with his jelly and his nuclear reactor. And,
or maybe one of his friends made a comedy nuclear jelly, and being the lover of jelly that he is, he was like, oh yeah, I'll eat it, and then didn't realise that it was nuclear jelly, and then Sally became Jelly Man.
But he's gonna have to have a nemesis. He's gonna have to have an arch enemy.
Yeah, Captain Custard.
I see Captain Custard and Jellyman as being.
They're on the same side. The arch
maybe they start off as enemies.
is Captain Carrot. Surely.
Yeah, definitely something healthy. I mean, he's got no chance against the dessert crew.
I think it's got to be something not only healthy but very, very stable and non-wobbly.
Kale Man.
I love Kale Man.
You're everything I hate, Jelly Man.
Yeah, or Professor Cabbage.
Yeah.
I mean, this is we are writing a kid's Saturday morning kind of
Cartoon, yeah.
kind of infotainment, kind of like, hey kids, you know, it's, well, actually no, we're doing the opposite, because we're saying, oh, it's fun to eat junk food.
It's
All
good.
Yeah.
It's best.
I do have an idea for a superhero. Actually, it came to me.
Yeah.
Okay, just go with this, right? Contraception Boy. Okay, Contraception Boy is his backstory is that he had a bad experience with a pregnancy scare, and since then he's mastered the art of avoiding getting women pregnant. through all manner of not just the the typical stereotypical condoms and other things of that ilk, but special skills and moves that he uses to avoid
knitting needles.
Sorry.
Does he does he come on the belly?
His cum is like super powered in as much as he can control the destination of his sperm.
You are describing a sterile man.
Are you describing
it like that? It's not quite.
I like the idea that basically he hates the idea of people getting pregnant, so he goes around purposefully disrupting people who are having sex. Like as they're about to come, he's like runs in the door. No! Think of your granny.
And who would his arch nemesis be? Who would be the foil?
Well, that would obviously be pro-choice kid. Well, no, he would be. He wouldn't be an adversary, would he? He would be on the same team. Something Catholic? I don't know. The Pope.
The Pope.
The best arch enemy ever.
The Pope would make a really good bad.
He's already got a mobile.
Yeah, I mean he's practically a villain already.
I've caused all the wars so far. I like it.
The Catholic Church plotting on ways to stop contraception, boy.
Just like pricking condoms. Just like you see just lines and lines of church people just work hard to prick all the condoms.
I think it's very strong. I think that could fly. Condom boy.
I don't know what his vehicle would be. Maybe some kind of
A femidom.
I like the idea because I like your idea that he bursts in and interrupts people, but perhaps because he is like his special power is like contraception, perhaps he could burst in and forcibly remove people from each other and put condoms on people and then run away again. It's
Or like he sneaks in gently in the night and just like slowly rolls one onto your face.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better for people who aren't even getting it on. Yeah, just like wake up and it's like, thanks, condom boy.
Well, that would work on your midnight boner, Dan.
Yeah. That I could maybe do with him hanging out with me a little bit.
Especially if anyone's sleeping in your bed to avoid any kind of accidental impregnation.
Yeah, for sure.
And he could be assisted by Coil Girl. And she just drives a car that looks like a coil and plugs up holes.
She's more of a long-term solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she could have a sidekick called Morning After Pill Jill.
I like
He would
it.
definitely be the maverick of the crew.
Yeah, who's always trying to spike people, because that's all she's got, unlimited access to baby pill killers. Okay, well,
I think we could roll this idea.
What about Rohypnol women?
I think she's the rogue character.
Viagra Man. How would Viagra Man come to be?
He would just
How
take
would,
a special. Well, yeah. I mean,
Maybe he
by
falls.
struck by lightning.
Maybe he falls into a pool of Viagra and remains constantly aroused, permanently erect by day and
He
night.
can't run anywhere. He just has to waddle. Okay. Off the topic of this, what would be a really useful superpower that hasn't been exploited yet? We've got invisibility, flying. What would be a genuinely useful superpower?
Lucky Man.
Wi-Fi man.
I love Wi-Fi man. Wherever you're around Wi-Fi man, you have a really strong Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, stronger signals. You just need to stand near him.
Go, Wi-Fi Man, go! Shoot your Wi-Fi.
How did Wi-Fi man get his powers though, Russ?
Well, he was fixing a Wi-Fi box when it was struck by lightning, and he inherited all the power of the internet and its connectivity.
What about Internet Man? That's quite similar. I have all the knowledge of the internet.
I think Internet Man would just be constantly wanking
Annoying.
and being horrible to people.
It'd just be popping up information incessantly. It'd be very annoying.
Did you know that 95% of all material on the internet is pornographic?
No.
I've heard the opposite. Fact of that.
I've got no basis for that statistic apart from my
Sounds
knowledge
good.
of the internet.
Okay, what about you remember like in Word? Do you remember the paperclip that used to come up?
Mm.
Yeah.
What about Paperclip Man? Comes up. That's his. That's it. That's his special skill. Just turning up. Rock it up.
Special skill is seeing when someone's doing something and going, "Hey, you're parking a car."
It looks like you're trying to have sex with that
park a
woman.
car.
Can I help?
Yeah. Are you trying to get her pregnant? You should come
Oh
and meet.
no, it's contraception boy!
I see.
And
you
what's
were,
all that loose paper doing?
Yeah, I think the paperclip would be. I mean, it was annoying anyway, but I think as a person, I think that would be wonderful, wonderfully annoying. You know, someone who just relentlessly offers not necessary or not wanted advice for stuff.
Would he have, like, on the top of his head a big X, so you could just press that X and get rid of him if necessary?
Or just minimise him?
Yeah.
And he always talked in a big speech bubble. I think there's definitely some things to think about.
Strong superhero. Yeah, all of the above I think would be very useful modern superheroes.
Mm.
What about? Is there any old style superheroes that are like obsolete?
I'd like to do one called Cactus Jack.
Nice. How was Cactus Jack? How was he made? How was he formed? What's his origin story?
Okay, well, before I go into origin story, I'm going to tell you his superpower. He has prickles,
Nice.
and he hugs people to make them pain. To make them pain.
I'm so. Oh, I've got no pain in my life. What? What can I do? Wait 1 minute. Is that Cactus Jack in there? Make me pain.
What problem is Cactus Jack solving?
Well, he's when people really when people really want pain in their life.
He's obliged
Yeah.
it. Hello, Fontaine.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Good. Sorry, like I couldn't get.
Fontaine, this is very relevant. We're on superhero. We're making up superheroes, and as you're wearing a cape,
Yes,
you seem like the ideal person for this.
Tobacco Man.
Tobacco Man. Yeah. Where did I put my tobacco? Oh man.
How-
Yeah,
how-
that'd be my
Tobacco
catchphrase.
Man- What's Tobacco Man's origin story? How was he formed?
At a late night party.
Well, no, I think it grown in West Virginia. Virginia. Grown in West Virginia on the open plains. You know, just like started off as a little root, a little smoky root, and someone set fire to him, and he erupted into Tobacco Man, who you see right here before you.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I wear this cape. I am Tobacco Man. I was burnt in West Virginia, but now I've been formed to do.
To smoke tobacco. Yeah. I'm like a cannibal in a way.
I smoke my brethren.
Yeah.
What's your special power that you get from smoking?
Just know my special power is smoking. I'm just
Sort of reduces irritability.
Yeah. That works. Improves cancer. You know, got options.
On this line, can I just throw this one out? What would you do if you were sat in a pub and somebody sparked up a cigarette? What would you do?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing at all.
I would get a gun. Fucking go ballistic.
What would you expect to happen?
The landlord would come over, surely, wouldn't he?
Yeah, or a bartend, you know, one of the two. Or glass collector.
Pat Sharp would turn up.
Do you think that other people around would stand up and say
so mundane a few
physical?
years ago would be like seen as a active site, like a really aggressive action now, wouldn't it? If someone smoked in a pub, you'd be like, wow, they're
Or in an office, even.
Yeah, well, I think the customary reaction that some do-gooders in the pub are like, oh, I can't smoke in here, etc., and then swiftly followed by management. So, what's happened to you, Dave? Why did you bring this up? I'm intrigued.
Well, I was sat in the pub the other night and I was pretty drunk, and I found myself putting a cigarette in my mouth and going to light it just out of, I guess, age-old habit.
Yeah.
And stopping myself and thinking, shit, that would be like the biggest social faux pas ever to do that, to be viewed as like this kind of huge pariah. And there was that guy, wasn't there, who had it go at somebody for smoking on a train platform, and I think the guy killed him.
Fucking hell.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was Tobacco Man. That was.
How dare you smoke my brethren, you motherfucker!
You smoke from me!
Yeah.
There's been a policy put forward in London to stop smoking in parks.
Fucking parks.
Public parks. Heard about that?
Yeah, that's just stupid, though. I think like inside, I can see why people say it, but like a park is no different from like any other public, open space.
I've got my 3 children next to you smoking your big fat cigar, stinking out my park. We both pay for this park.
Move
over there. It's a big
park.
I can't, because this is where the toilets are, and I need to.
Why am I hanging around by the toilet?
You tell me. You tell me.
Well, I'm gonna move then. I'm gonna get. You can hang around those toilets with your children if you want.
Yeah. I like the idea that I'm hanging around a kid's loo, smoking a cigar.
Smoking a cigar.
And the fact I'm smoking is the problem.
It's the tip of the iceberg, but these things lead on to more nefarious activities.
Bigger cigars.
You need Tobacco Man to sort you out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you can Cuban.
I'm going to have to make a move, guys, because...
Okay, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much to our guests, Mr. David White, Mr. Richard Fontaine, and Mr. Russell Garnett. It's been another excellent episode. We will be taking emails on our email address, which is slapbackchatfrat@gmail.com, and anyone who wishes to offer any questions, then they are welcome to email us on that. Thank you.
I was going to say, if you have any superheroes that you would like us to discuss, just leave a comment or leave an email. Just leave the name of the superhero, and we'll try and embed a backstory. If you have any films that you would like us to rewrite and make better, equally do the same kind of thing. And thanks for watching, all 10 of you.
There's 10 of them.
I don't think I think Dan watches it 10 times, but thanks, Dan.
It's a lot to masturbate to something. I need to see lots of different angles. It's complicated. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll see you all in a few weeks. Toodaloo!
Bye.
Bye.